Have you been beaten up by the police?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Remember the Van Grack shoes? Remember the Van Gracks? Van Grack, Jordan said he honestly, 2 people left Nike or some shit, and he was supposed to go with them. Van Grack was like this popping ass, it was like a poor man's Dolce & Gabbana and all that bullshit. It was like the popping little shoe. And man, Red Dogs got behind my ass in Allen Temple, man. Shouts out to Bankroll Fred. And whoom, got out of there. They whipped me, scooted a little bit more, and lost my shoe, and they whooped my ass on. Boop, 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 boop. Left my shoe and cut up my shoe and shit, and there I was looking like an asshole, feeling stupid. So yeah, they put their hands on me.
What was it over? Like, well, why did they roll up on you?
Cause my dumb ass out there trying to trap. You know.
So you were out selling drugs, and they basically just beat you up and
but selling drugs was like I bought a 50 so I could make my money back for the shoes I had just bought. You know what I mean? Selling drugs is not somebody sitting in a bando with cocaine and fucking guns. That's not it. Selling drugs is usually some punk ass. I was in the trap, interested enough, last night or night before last. I went to holler at some homies that I hadn't seen in a while. And another homie who used to trap, when the trap actually made you money, he was telling them, man, y'all ain't making no money. You 26 years old, you out here trapping, you making minimum wage. And I brought up the fact that a study showed that most people who trap, man, they make about $200, $220 a week. Like it's you are being used as cheap labor, So I realized early the trap one for me. I went to Decatur, bought a beeper, and just started trapping off the beeper. I got tired of getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, look at the name, the trap. I mean, that pretty much describes it.
Well, that's what the name didn't come from a good thing. The name came from when you were younger, like we were out here on the front street. On the front street, you couldn't hustle because the older dudes were out there. They was out there selling ounces. They was out there in the quarters. It was wide open, right? It was like that scene in the Dame Dash movie about Mitch them, right? It was live. So you, as a younger dude, you had to be in the back in the cut. And what it was one way in and one way out. And that's how they started calling it the trap, because you could trap the money back there. The J's would come, couldn't nobody just take your bomb and run. But also, if the police came, you were trapped, you were jammed. So the older people, started, like, they ain't understand, like, it's back then that trap. It started like that, and then it just picked up. You run with it, well, I'm in a trap. And the next thing you know, the trap is dead, because the trap is literally dead. But the beauty of the coke era, crack era, or trap era is this. People like Tip gave that time and place a platform to create a whole new economy. Kids that would have been selling dope in our era. 25 years ago, the kids that are coming out of nowhere, out of Atlanta, becoming hugely successful, would have been low or mid-level drug dealers. Talking about, there is no crack epidemic anymore. Talking about the crack epidemic has potentially made more money for the community than crack itself. And even if you don't agree with the music, that's pretty admirable. Now, if we can only divest some of this money into a true merchant class, we'll have this thing all the way figured out.
So we talked about this earlier. You had went on Twitter recently and you apologized for referring to gay men as faggots.
No, that wasn't recently. That was 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
That was from 2010. And I didn't refer to gay men as faggots. What I was doing was there was a Twitter character that was actually just funny as fuck. What is the name of it? It's out of the Bay. It's a Chuck Deuce. It was Chuck. Was it Chuck Deuce? It was Chuck Deuce, I think. And it's just like surfer, skateboarder, crazy talk. The character doesn't give a fuck. He hates Grums, which are like his low-level homies. He hates San Jose, which is like a neighboring town. And he uses that language and shit. So that was just me caught up on the hype of that shit, saying some stupid shit. But it was stupid and it was wrong, so I apologize. I also am the guy who's the last 16 years always maintained that, honestly, I just ain't had no problem with the gay community. Just never have, I think, my rights and liberties are my own. Meaning, I like smoking marijuana, very loose women, very fast cars, you know what I'm saying? And the ability to say whatever the fuck I feel. So my whole rights for other people are based in strangely secular, sinful shit. You know, Larry Flint and Luther Campbell have been as much examples to me as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. You get what I'm saying? So for me, when I say I'm fighting for your rights, I am equally fighting for the rights of the KKK to have their goddamn march as I am Puerto Ricans on Puerto Rican Day. You know, if you want to have your march, you deserve to have your goddamn march. If you want to call me nigger, that's your goddamn right to call me nigger. Doesn't make you right, but don't make me wrong. So in matters of saying shit that could be considered fucked up, I can say I'm sorry because I am. But if you want to say fucked up shit, I'm never going to take your right to do it. That's fine. I say I'm sorry because I consider myself a friend and an ally to the gay community. I understand how it could be interpreted as such, but I've never really meant any language like that. I was just a heterosexual guy using stupid language.
Okay, so you believe in the rights of the KKK?
Absolutely. Absolutely I do. Now, I also believe if you try to interfere with my right, I have a right to kill you dead. You know, that's simply it. If a terrorist organization wishes to interfere with my rights and liberties, then I have the right to defend my life.
What did you think about Trump's comments when being asked about the KKK?
I don't think about Trump's comments. You know, everything that comes across as fodder on the news that ain't for you to give a damn about. It's just not. You know, it's just not. It's not. Like, there's bigger shit to worry about than how Trump feels about the KKK. There just is. There's real issues out there going on. Some of the shit is just it's a stage show. And there are parts of the stage show that I refuse to pay attention to. That's one of them.
Okay.
You think Hillary Clinton doesn't have? You think Mark Rubio? You think there's some KKK members, I'm sure, that vote for Bernie Sanders because they want to see the Democratic Party burn down. So in their mind, if they can vote for the socialists, that'll burn down the party. There's all type of kooky, crazy motherfuckers out there, man. It comes with it. It comes with the environment. You know, what's dangerous to me is not a racist wearing Air Jordans in a white robe. What's scary to me is racists who secretly hide their racism behind laws and policies and wear black robes. That's what scares me. What scares me is in the justice system, blacks make up well over 50%, it seems to now, and you make way less than 4% of judges and prosecutors. That's what fucking worries me. You know, I'm worried that more black kids are becoming teachers than lawyers. That's what worries me. So, you know, in matters of, am I afraid of the KKK? No, I'm afraid of the police. That's who I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of that there are not enough police that are empathetic and sympathetic to black people. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of a bunch of kooky-ass poor white men who like to get dressed in robes, say the word nigger, and still buy Air Jordans.
Still buy Air Jordans. So why do you say that part?
Because there's a picture going around of a dumbass kooky KK member and some dope-ass gray Air Jordans.
Oh, he got some cool gray 11s on.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, baby.
Wait, is that what those are? Are
yeah.
those cool gray 11s?
Yeah, he don't really hate black people. He just don't have no clubs to belong to. You need to just give his ass a club. He'll love black people.
Yeah, he wears some fairly hard to get Air. I mean, those are
that's just like
jewels.
when the homies who black nationalists hit me up, like, man, I dare you buy your son some Air Jordans, and I'm like, but you run a sports program, and every kid in your fucking sports program is wearing LeBrons. Like, they're made in the same factory, bro. You know what I mean? Just, you know, people get pious and they get on their shit, man. So, you know, it's not like I'm saying I don't worry about racism, but I'm worried about systems that perpetuate racism. I'm worried about the secret members of the KKK. I'm not worried about overt poor white men who don't have a proper social understanding, so they need someone to blame.
I'm a fan of Drake. I'm a fan of the idea of Drake, so no disrespect against Drake.
What do you mean by the idea of Drake? What does that mean?
Meaning that if he has a ghostwriter, he's an idea. He's not meaning that it's a perception created that he's not really writing the lyrics, and it's just like here, let's make this in the factory and put it out.
I'm just on top of my game right now, Vlad, and I'm just getting blessed. I'm booked 4 or 5 times a week, 60, 75K a show, man. I'm winning right now, man, and I'm just steady trying to increase my hustle.